This is John Black, super chemist.
But today, Nora Vincent is getting the full-blown glamour treatment. Nora's a writer, and one of these shots will adorn the cover of her new book.
This wasn't just a stunt. This was about learning. This is a human project. It was about finding something out about the human creature, and I learned it the best possible way because I went through it.
What Nora went through, or more accurately, what she became in the last 2 years, was a man.
Yeah.
So now this woman pretended to be a man, okay, to write a book. She was basically doing an experiment, you know, a sociology type deal, and then she was going to write a book, which she did. She went in the nut house and ended up killing herself. Part of it was because of this she couldn't take it as a man. The guilt, I think, for the way that, you know, she finally gets to see how men actually live compared to women, you know what I mean? It's like two different worlds, you know. But there are other reasons too. You know, we'll get into that later.
Yeah, a little bit shorter on the top. Okay.
No, Nora didn't get a sex change operation. She did it the old-fashioned way, with acting and a disguise. At 5'10", 155 pounds, and wearing men's size 11 shoes, Nora was a natural. She says she's still a tomboy, and in fact is a lesbian, living in Midtown Manhattan with her partner Lisa.
I think we can work with this.
Her transformation into the guy she calls Ned begins with a buzz cut, baggy men's clothes, and a too small sports bra to flatten her breasts. She even wore a little padding and a jock strap.
I also tried to think, well, what kind of guy is Ned? And get.
For the rest, she enlisted the help of makeup artist Ryan McWilliams.
She just came to me and said, Ryan, I need to turn into a man. The hair as small as we can make it, right?
And so they came up with a method of shredding braided wool into whisker-sized bits and gluing it onto her face.
Women have much stronger nasal resonance as a
And then
rule.
there's the theatrical component.
So just easy Tarzan out on your chest a little. Good.
Juilliard voice teacher Kate Murray coached Nora for months on a program of movement, breathing, and speaking.
I want you to be the best man you can be.
All to incorporate some of the subtle and not so subtle characteristics of being a guy.
Notice what men do. If they need to suddenly grab a taxi, hey, they just do that. Whereas women will ask for a taxi instead of demand one.
When all the pieces are together, hair, makeup, voice, posture, style, the transformation is complete.
Hey, yeah, he actually looks like, I mean, she looks like a guy, for, you know what I mean? You can't tell.
Nora Vincent becomes Ned Vincent. The book, Self-Made Man, is out today and is about Nora's 18 months living as Ned.
I wanted to enter male spheres of interest and see how men are with each other. I wanted to make friends with men. I wanted to know how male friendships work from the inside out.
Ned's first act as a newly minted male was to join that quintessential bastion of camaraderie, a men's bowling team. The only problem was, she's a terrible bowler.
I probably bowled before this 3 times in my life, and that was, you know, in high school when you do it with both hands, you know. So it was just insane for me to walk into this place without any.
And why didn't they just run you out of town when they saw how bad you were?
It's an amazing thing because I think, I mean, that shows you the generosity that they had.
It was the first of Nora's many surprises. She thought these guys from a working-class Pennsylvania neighborhood would mock Ned's bowling and reject him as a guy. But from their first meeting, they accepted Ned.
The handshake was unbelievable. It blew me away the first time I shook hands with a guy, a strange guy. And I was amazed because you think of women, you know, we're so nice, we're so easy, men are so mean. Complete opposite. Hey, baby! And I felt as comfortable as I could feel right away. They just took me in. No questions asked.
This is the first time the guys are coming face to face with the female version of Ned.
Would you have known me on the street?
No.
No? Good, good.
Taller now, remember?
Yeah, I know. You're shorter. What happened?
Though they've known about Nora's true identity for months,
How are you? Congratulations.
this reunion is their first chance to talk about their friendship.
But you guys had said that wasn't there that game that, you know, the person who didn't make it to 100 had to wear women's panties at the end of the season? And I thought, you know, I'm going to give you guys the shock of your life, and I'm going to wear
The team had bowled together for 9 months, and gradually, Nora gained entrance into the inner sanctum. She found that all the cussing and good-natured ribbing is just how men often show affection for each other.
Let's go to bed.
Oh, yeah.
You remember this?
Oh, my God, that's right. I forgot all about that.
Did you know, based on watching her bowl? I mean, you know, the joke was she bowled like a girl, but
Well, we had our suspicions that these guys did. I just
maybe
thought
Ned was gay or
everybody else.
something.
Really?
Yeah. Everybody has their own style. You know what I
But
mean?
my style was...
Her style is this.
Yes. No style.
Near the end of the team's run, Nora decided to reveal herself as a woman. Nervous about how they'd react, she tested the waters with the one guy she was closest to. She took Jim out for a drink.
so she sits you down, she's very serious, and she says, I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your mind. And what did you say?
So the only thing that would blow my mind is if you told me that you were a girl and that she was a guy, and she goes, well, you're half right.
The she Jim's talking about is Nora's partner Lisa, who the team had met several times. Jim assumed they were Ned and Lisa, a heterosexual couple.
But you didn't believe her at first.
At first, I was still in shock. I said, how can this possibly, you know, where would this come from? This is just a regular Monday night. I was out bowling having a good time a few minutes ago. Now I'm trapped in this bizarre conversation about your name isn't Ned anymore, you know?
Later, Jim told the rest of the team, who all took it well.
What do you think Nora expected to find in a bowling alley full of guys?
Expected to find like a bunch of guys just talking about women's private parts and a bunch of racists and, you know, I think kind of that's what she came into this thinking.
They really showed me up as being the one who was really judgmental, because they were the ones who took me in, not knowing anything about me. They were the ones who made me their friend, and, you know, no judgments attached. That's not like you. What's wrong?
Nora and Jim became closer friends once he knew that he was a she. Now Jim was willing to speak more personally and openly, like about his wife's cancer. Nora came to see that between men, intimacy is sadly lacking.
There's a tremendous potential for tenderness between men, and I'm not sure that it's always realized, and it's terribly sad.
Cracking the mystery of a boys' night out is one thing, but what about the explicit world of a man's sexuality?
I really ran smack up against the difference between male and female sexuality, is that female sexuality is mental. It's up here. And male sexuality is a bodily function. It's a necessity. You just have to do it.
When we come back, Nora goes to strip clubs in the company of men as a man.
You know, it's probably 99% of the male population has never even been to a strip club. You know, a strip where they were stripping or whatever. I've been a criminal 20 years of my life. Okay, and I have only been to a strip bar maybe 10 times or something. You know, and it wasn't like I stayed all night or whatever. You don't, you know. No one wants to pay, you know what I mean? Especially because most of them just pay to watch them dance. Like, what's the point? That's so stupid. It really is. But it kills me that these women, they think like we're just sitting here chopping people up with an axe or something. You know what I mean? And we're out just deviant people all over the place. Just, you know, whatever. Like 1/3 of Gen Z men, they haven't had sex in a year, and probably about 20% of them or whatever are virgins still at 30. What the hell, man?
Over the 18 months of venturing out in the world as a man, Nora Vincent guesses she put on Ned's whiskers and clothes about 150 times. After the bowling league, she was ready for love and sex.
You went to a couple of sex clubs. What were you trying to get at?
Well, at first I thought, this is sort of the quintessential guy thing to do, right? The bachelor party at the strip club. When I told people initially that I was doing this, they'd say, oh, you gotta go to a strip club.
She says the clubs were obviously sexual, but once again,
I bet you $1 million that was a woman, man. Like, nobody goes to the strip bar. They have like certain people, they're, you know, regular customers or whatever. Nobody else goes. Like maybe, you know, once in 3 years or 5, 10 years, people might go. The bulk of men have never even been to a strip thing. Come on, man.
lacking in intimacy, which leaves men emotionally frustrated.
I saw the men there. I saw the looks on their faces. I saw them sitting alone, nursing their bourbon, and this is not about appreciation of women, of course. It's not about appreciation of their own sexuality. It's about an urge, and that's not always that pleasurable, really.
These guys who go to these high-priced clubs would say, this isn't about pain, it's about pleasure.
Men have had the tears and the emotional expression sort of pounded out of them from an early age, and so by the time they're men, they don't even have the vocabulary anymore, or the emotional awareness to really say what they're feeling.
Nora says strip joints are about pure sex drive, completely empty of any meaningful interaction, even when a woman is gyrating on your lap.
But you're attracted to women. Were you ever aroused during any of these?
I really ran smack up against the difference between male and female sexuality, is that female sexuality is mental. It's up here.
Whereas for men, Nora says, sexuality is, shall we say, below the waist.
At its core, it's a bodily function. It's a necessity. It is such a powerful drive, and I think because we don't have testosterone in our systems, we don't understand how hard it is.
So it never gets cold where you back in Australia?
Throughout the project, Ned dabbled in the art of picking up a woman.
Where'd your friend go?
We went with him to this bar, wearing hidden cameras.
This is my friend JC, I'm Ned.
Nora was reminded that in this arena, it's women who have all the power.
We sit there, and we, just with one word, no, will crush someone. And the thing is, we don't have to do the part where you cross the room and you go up to a stranger and say the first words. And those first words are so hard to say without sounding like a cheese ball or sounding like a jerk or whatever else.
Yeah, what do you do?
Nora says the brush-off Barbara Jones gave Ned was typical.
She was just sort of emblazoned with hostility, you know, just looked at you and you saw everything cross her face, which was, oh, God help me, not again. I'm trying to have a drink with a friend and I've got to deal with you.
Barbara was trying to dispose of Ned before her friend returned from the bathroom.
We haven't seen each other in a while, so I gotta head out to mom.
But Ned returned and told Barbara the truth about her gender.
Saying you gave us all the lines, like, try to get rid of us. I see, and as a woman, I have such sympathy. I'm like, oh, I hate being this guy that you're trying to get rid of.
Talking to a woman, Barbara seemed more open and friendly, and in the end, actually apologized for how she had treated Ned.
So
Sorry for being bitchy.
please.
Does that kind of living in the skin of a man in the bar scene, in the dating scene, give you a different kind of respect for men?
It gives me a certain definite sympathy. And I don't mean that there's any disrespect, but it just makes me understand what's going on.
Nora, as Ned, also went on about 30 dates with women, mostly arranging them on the internet.
Did you have any fun?
Rarely.
It was just an
pretty
ordeal.
unpleasant, yeah.
She says the pressure of Ned having to prove himself was grueling. Nora was surprised that many women had no interest in a soft, vulnerable man.
My prejudice was that the ideal man is a woman in a man's body. And I learned...
What is it? I don't understand. I think that's stupid. I mean, you have a penis and a vagina. They're opposite, but they complement, right? One goes from the other. They're not the same. They're opposite. You know, woman wants a tall man, and man wants a short woman. They're opposite, you know what I mean? Woman wants someone to protect him and provide for him, and a man's looking for someone to protect and provide for. It's like it's always whatever, man. You know, it's like that's all. If you're one gender and you want to know what the other gender wants, all you have to do is think, what do I want? Whatever that is, the man wants the opposite. Whatever, and it has to complement it, though.
No, that's really not. There are a lot of women out there who really want a manly man.
Ultimately, Ned told most of his dates that he was Nora. Many of the women reacted angrily, but usually just for a little while. Some women wanted to continue the relationship.
They remained interested in pursuing something further. You know, so whereas
Sexually.
yeah, and that was heterosexual women who, that's what I'm saying. It's all up here because they said, well, we connected, and you know, there's something, I really like you and I don't care. How many guys would do that? That's the difference between male and female sexuality right there.
You know, this is kind of BS. Yeah, she's right. You know,